Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. My beloved brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan to our daily gems from Masjid Sadaran Community Center. Half an hour, we have started like half an hour, it will be like 45 minutes before iftar now, most likely. We spend like 15 minutes just talking a little about Ramadan. Today, I want us to talk about Ramadan. We are about halfway to Ramadan, close to halfway. And I have as my guest today, Brother Ismail, and we will be chatting a little about Ramadan. Brother Ismail, ahlan wa sahlan, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
To bring back Ramadan always to us with a lot of cheers and inshallah ta'ala, a lot of peace, ta'ala.
MashaAllah. I hope that the families are really enjoying, these family time in Ramadan and getting the family, huddling the family together and enjoying the bounties of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just imagine we start the other day and we are already close to halfway of Ramadan. And I know for a fact that, Brother Ismail, sometimes when we reach like halfway, we kind of slow down, right? And then when we reach like the 20, 21 days, then we kind of pick up back. So how would we advise our brothers and sisters to pace themselves, inshallah, that they can able to do an act, a small act every day that is very consistent, as the Prophet says. A small act that is consistent is very, it's more what you call worthy in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Well, first of all, Ramadan, any action you do in Ramadan is multiplied many, many times. So do not think that doing a small act is not worthy your time. Even if it's small act, as you said, this small act in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is multiplied many, many, many folds. But if we want to talk about something to energize us, right, and give us the energy, I always try to go back to the core of our belief, faith. And I think, and I do something called the ta'ammul, which is basically thinking deeply or meditating for 5 minutes a day to see the bounties of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala more in depth, to look at the world around me and see what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have benefited me with more than anybody else. In this way, I will know for sure that Allah subhanahu
I think Brother Ismail
and gave me much more than I ever have asked for, subhanahu wa ta'ala.
So it's like tadabbur, right? It's like tadabbur, tafakkur. Take some time out like in Ramadan and do some reflection and contemplation.
Those 5 minutes of tafakkur, of tadabbur, of meditating, like 5 minutes of thinking of the bounties of Allah, or thinking of the circumstances. Where are you today? And how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the magnificent creator and bounty that He have given to all of us. It will give you so much energy to say, subhanallah, I'm so blessed. Let me just even go more. So I think this is could be a great,
absolutely. And the thing is that we don't have to go far away to look to see the signs and the miracles of Allah. It's right in front of us. It's just that how we see the signs. Like today we have rain. You look at the rain and who is behind the rain, how it comes, how it falls, how the weather changes. You look at the trees putting on leaves, and when it get warm, the leaves start sprouting out, and when it get cold, the leaves start getting back in. These are all signs of Allah. So you don't have to go very far away. And there is no better time than in Ramadan to do this kind of a reflection and tadabbur.
To be honest, when you have less of food and water and you feel drained, that drainage of energy, it is also a time to reflect of how weak we are as humans. Yeah. And then also when you think how weak you are, and that will get you to the point where you know that you are the slave of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yeah. And the more you think you are the slave of the mighty subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will give you more benefits, raise your status, and subhanallah, just you feel like there is a greater creator behind you. No matter what happens, you can always fall back on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and He always got your back.
Wallahi, I mean, the thing is that human being, we are so much more prone when we go through hunger and thirst.
Mhm.
We to when we in hunger and thirst, it
Mhm.
gives you better position to create a reflection, right? Because sometimes food, in as much as food that we eat, and we have to understand the sunnah of the prophet and of eating too, right? They never used to eat and fill themselves to so much. I mean, food sometimes take us away from reality of things. When our stomach is overfilled, when we are accustomed to eat a lot of stuff and eat, all kind of stuff, and uh, it's harder for us to able to put that reflection. But when the body going through that strain of hunger and thirst, the human mind, the human brain is more prone for reflection.
I'll tell you something. I was doing a program in the college 2 days ago about Ramadan, and we invited all students, Muslim or not, to the Muslim club in the college. And I was speaking to them and asking all the Muslim who's fasting. I said, "How was Ramadan with you? What it was hard with you in the first days, and how were you able to cope with the hardness of Ramadan, coming to college and studying?"
Yeah.
And one of the students, she said, the first day was only a little bit tiring, but then, to be honest, when the first week came along, I felt that I have more energy and focus on my studying, on my work than ever before. And
Yeah.
it's exactly what you have mentioned. It's because the food that we eat and the amount of food that we stuff ourselves with kind of take us from our focus. The other thing is, biologically, Sheikh, when your cells have less food, they go and they rejuvenate. They go and take all the old parts of the cell and they consume it and they renew all the cells part. Even when you're fasting and you're getting out of hunger, you are renewing your cells. You are kind of giving your body a chance to renovate, which is
Yeah.
amazing, subhanallah. And that's what Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Sumu tasahhu." Fast and you get better, you get healthier, which is
Yeah.
subhanallah a true medical fact that we now
So,
know about.
I mean, now basically we fast because it's an obligation from Allah, right?
Sahih, sahih,
And there is a reason for us to fast
sahih,
because in order to لعلكم تتقون. That's the bottom line, right? The principle
sahih,
to get
sahih,
closer to
sahih,
Allah.
sahih,
But
sahih,
then there are so many other side benefits.
sahih,
As you have pointed out, there are so many scientific facts, biological facts that show that fasting do so much good to the human body, repairing the cells and give the body a chance to recuperate and to rejuvenate. And you find that you have more energy. So whether it's Muslim scientists, non-Muslim scientists, they will tell you that fasting does really good for the human body. Plus, we are having the spiritual, what you call, I always refer it to it now as building our spiritual immunity, right?
sahih,
Because sometimes
sahih.
we only look towards our physical immune system, but what about our spiritual immune system, right? So it is absolutely a time to do this.
Sahih. You see the benefit of siyam stays way beyond than you ever think. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "As-siyamu li wa ana ajzi bih." Siyam is for me. I'm the one who is giving the rewards for the sa'im. No one else. And he didn't define it,
Yeah.
which tells you how amazing and how large and how generous Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to be with us. When we see him inshallah ta'ala in the Jannah, so may Allah
And
allow
actually,
you and me
you mentioned the point,
to
right?
meet together in Jannah.
That point, I was reading a few things from some of the scholars the other day, and they said that the act of fasting, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even hid it from his
Mm,
angels.
Sahih.
The angels does not record this deed. This deed is between Allah and his servants. So that is the
That,
reason why when we heard of that hadith, that there are two joys in fasting. One, when we break it, that's iftar time. When we
mhm.
sit down and we anticipate that I will have some food, that's a joy, right? And the
صحيح
second one is when you reach Allah and He give you personally the reward for your fasting,
صحيح
because that was not even recorded by the angels who record deeds. Allah keep it away from the angels, and Allah will be presenting that to us directly on Yawmul Qiyamah.
صحيح صحيح. Well, thinking about all of this, subhanallah, and thinking of the bounties and the benefits that Allah has spreading on us on this beautiful, amazing month, you can't only but try to use as many times and try to use the time that is left for this blessed month before it goes away.
Yeah.
And subhanallah, ayyaman ma'dudat, only a few days.
Few days,
Uh,
right?
few days, subhanallah, and they fly fast. So it's basically the fear of losing. It is
Yeah.
the fear of losing which is the best motivation for any of us. We always we are fearing of losing, this product or that event. But again, this is a lifetime worth of, or 84 years worth of, if Allah gives the ability to catch the qadr of joy and bounties from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I think I could tell myself I'm scared of losing all these benefits of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I
Yeah.
better work harder.
Subhanallah. And the thing is that as I've said earlier, that we are coming to the near mid of Ramadan.
Now,
I don't want our brothers and sisters to lose the focus. I think now we should be more focused and be worried that the days of Ramadan is going by so quickly that in couple of days I will be losing this kind of barakah. And
Sahih.
and the way that Allah multiplies our barakah. So we try as much as possible. Please don't drop your guard in these last few days we have remaining. Am I going to give myself the privilege to say last few days, because it will finish very quickly, right?
It is right around the corner, Sheikh. You just close your eyes, open your eyes, and Ramadan is gone, subhanAllah. So you want to have a great focus, great concentration, use every single minute. It's all barakah. It's blessed from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. So anytime you want to do anything or make dua, it's always acceptable, inshallah ta'ala. It's always blessed. It's all blessed time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wish my brothers and sisters, please try to make the utmost of it, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help all of us that we can able to grab as much as possible. And I think you did mention this last night. If I'm correct, that we kind of greedy. We try to be greedy in Ramadan, right?
Well, not only greedy, we have to be as smart as the Sahaba. The Sahaba, the companions of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they used to be a businessman in their intention. They used to be tujjaru niyat. And I've heard this, kind of think first time. I said, what does it mean tujjaru niyat? What does it mean a businessman of intentions? So what they do is, like we have, compound interest, in those, banks or whatever it is, or you have like multiple bounties. What if you are able to have an intention upon intention upon intention upon intention and gain the benefit of all these intentions while doing one act? For example, you're doing the siyam. So, like the Sahaba, they used to have intention, Ya Allah, I'm fasting away from food and drink, so I obey your orders. Number one. Ya Allah, I'm doing this fast and obedience for you so I can, make sure that I follow the sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Number three. Ya Allah, I'm making all my dua in Ramadan and trying to do as much as I can so I can able to get the benefits of Ramadan. So Ya Allah, accept, even if it's a small or large. Another four, Ya Allah, if I was sick or not able to do this, Ya Allah, I want to do this ibadah, I want to do this worship, I want to finish the Quran. So the Sahaba used to have multiple intentions for one action, and you could do this much better in Ramadan. And that's why, imagine, Shaykh, in Laylatul Qadr, you tell yourself, Ya Allah, I'm going to try to worship you as much as I can the last 10 nights of Ramadan. Ya Allah, I'm trying my best to catch every minute possible between my family, my job, and I'm trying to free myself as much as I can. But Ya Allah, if I got a little short of time, where I didn't do enough, Ya Allah, accept it as if I am the full worshipper for you, because I really, inside of me, my intention, my heart want to be this way. So
Yeah.
in this case, if you couldn't catch, and you, by the way, you have to try your best. This is a condition. You tried your best. You really went further away than you could do. Insha'Allah, Allah will give you the benefit as you have captured the Layl al-Qadr. May Allah
Ameen.
allow you and us to capture it. Allahumma ameen.
Ameen ya Rab. Ameen. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. So, my brothers and sisters, time is short. We have to go. Inshallah, we'll see you tomorrow, inshallah, for another short reminder and Ramadan Jam. Brother Ismail, Jazakum al khair for coming by. I really appreciate you showing up here and be chatting about.
Well, Sheikh, I'm always pleased to be, with you, mashallah, Sadar, beautiful, amazing community. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whoever is listening to us now and hearing us today, to be rewarded by Babur Rayyan, the door in the Jannah that is specified for people who fast. I ask Allah to accept all whoever hear us and who are around us or listen to us, inshallah ta'ala, and whoever and their families, to enter from that door, to enter together, inshallah ta'ala, raising our hands with each other. And ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to unite us with our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the Jannah. Say Ameen.
Ameen.
Everyone say please. Allahumma Ameen. Wa jazakumullah khairan.
Everyone who is looking on, may Allah bless you and accept all your ibadat.
Allahumma Ameen.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, ya akhi.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.